Oh, and scheduling union issues to be heard on his day off. Well, union should have been right at the labor board. Ackley's intent, the suit states, is evident in her email communications with Mitchell. I gotta read that again. Ackley's intent, the suit states, is evidence in her email communication with Mitchell. This has to be the stupidest move I have ever heard of any police chief in the United States. You've got to be kidding me. Listen to what she says. It's quoted. Time to throw another bomb. Maybe you should send an FOI, Freedom of Information request, to view all lawsuits concerning police canines as well as all civilian complaints concerning who? Todd Lynch. 1 August 2011 email from Ackley to Mitchell reads, the suit says, contends, quote, Besetto helped him via Dittman to get the seat of vice president on the union, and his sole job is to cause me problems, push me out, make me look bad. That's what it says in another email. She's writing this stuff to Mitchell. This is what I'm saying. I think she's paranoid. I mean, this is why I'm trying to explain, and so that people understand. I don't think she's competent as an administrator to administrate the police department. She might be the nicest lady in the world, but what is she doing talking to a citizen, Ms. Gadfly? I mean, I don't understand if our citizens do not comprehend how bad this is. She's not talking to another administrator in the city. She's talking to whatever, Ms. Gadfly. Another email from Ackley to Mitchell, the suit states, is libelous by virtue of its false and defamatory and malicious nature and its intent to harm the plaintiff and his reputation with the public. Mitchell said Thursday that she released her correspondence with Ackley, about 160 emails, after she suspected. Now you got to get this. The Gadfly suspected was using her to influence September's Democratic mayoral primary between Besetto and Finuzio. You got that? You got that? Everybody says I attacked Mitchell. You got that? I mean, I've known this kind of crap. She's nothing but a troublemaker as far as I'm concerned. I think she's the biggest one of the biggest troublemakers in the city. It's caused all you people all kinds of aggravation. You support her and you listen to her. You listen to her non-facts and you jump on her bandwagons. And I guess Ackley was trying to do the same. Like she's some powerful lady. Have you ever done a background check on the lady? Have you? I mean, take a look as what Ackley. I can't believe that Ackley went to this person. That says something about character and who you would go to. Yeah, I mean, it says something to you. From the very beginning, when the chief first started complaining about Besetto and the treatment she was getting from various officers, I believed her and supported her. Mitchell says. You know, she was right on Ackley's side. However, sounds like she's running in the wind. Towards the end of our online conversation, I began to wonder if Daryl, when they got Finozio, was involved in this somehow. She referred twice in the emails to when there's a new mayor, this will change. And I began to wonder if there wasn't some conspiring between Darrow and the chief to make this a two-person election. You gotta be kidding me. There goes the gadfly. Okay? She clearly probably has probably took a look at my articles and now has probably shredded all the evidence. Okay, but they can get your motherboard, your disk, okay, and who knows what Ackley's emails is saying, and somebody ought to get Daryl's emails between all these people, okay, and find out what's going on. This is outrageous. This has affected the election. This is affecting family members, police officers who have family and kids. Okay? This is not a jokey kind of thing that, you know, nobody's going to get hurt and it's just going to cost money. And who is in the midst of this again? The gadfly. And whatever would somebody of Ackley's stature go to that lady for help, to cause inflammatory situations, to rumormonger, to do things that are, well, to affect the union, to affect Mr. Lynch. I mean, this goes right to the heart of her capability to manage our police department. She clearly isn't qualified. In August, Ackley appeared before the city council and said she wanted to retire because she was unable to do her job because of systematic interference by then city council and mayoral candidate Becerra. At the time, she threatened a lawsuit against the city. See, this sounds like it's all about money. In January, Finozio announced that he had agreed to pay Ackley $25,000 to settle the complaint against Becerra. Now, this is where I start to say, number one, we knew that was a mistake. She wanted all that money. She wanted all that back pay that she offered on her own, and now she's going to get 25. She was going to get 25 grand from Finozio. Right when an independent report by former Superior Court Judge Beverly J. Hodgson found that the city was not liable for the actions or negligence in connection with the Ackley complaint. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, you know? I'm going to take a breather and I'm going to be right back. Believe it or not, I just took a breather for that few minutes, and you know, in the situation that we were talking about, the council did the wise thing. Later, voted not to fund the settlement, and no payment was made to Ackley. Thank God. Ackley, at the time that this article was written, could not be reached to comment. The suit comes one day after Union Attorney Richard Gudis filed a complaint with the State Labor Board alleging that over the past 2 years, now I like this, and this is what I'm saying, and apparently I'm right, that these folks are union busters. Richard Gudis filed a complaint with the State Labor Board alleging that over the past 2 years, the city officials created an environment of anti-union animus. Now, that's anti-union ill will, or I like the stronger definition, malignancy. Okay, they have caused a situation in this city where they're trying to hate all the union members. Okay, all these city officials, administrators, are trying to get people to be angry at all our union members. And our union members here in this city have given up a lot for this city. Both the police department, fire department, and the general workers. These folks that you have placed in office, especially Mr. Finocchio, is an anti-union person, like every one of the Republicans in this country right now. We made a mistake. We made a mistake. I made the mistake and I jumped off his bandwagon and I didn't switch fast enough. I still have people who listen to me and everything, swear and go down the road with this guy. They haven't learned yet. This man is tearing this city apart, and I believe my opinion is there was a conspiracy from the beginning, and I sensed it, and that's why I got away from the man, and that's why I went and supported Mr. Bussetto, who I wasn't all that infatuated with. Michael knows it. I had trouble. He hasn't been a long-time politician, but him and I tussled a lot. However, I thought, all in all, he was the best person for the job, and we made a mistake. And it's too bad. Okay? It was too bad, okay, because the breath of fresh air came in here. Everybody thought everything was going to be all right. And what you're finding is step by step by step, this guy is costing this city a fortune. And he's going to continue because he's an arrogant sucker, okay, that it's his way or the highway. And when he threatens family, as he did in this quote, time to get rid of him. You people ought to be out petitioning. You imagine this, if you don't like it, you can leave. You work with this city 10, 15 years. You don't like what I'm doing, you can leave. This guy needs to be run out of town. But anyways, so he's seriously anti-union, and our union people, all of us, need to get together and get out there, and we need the state unions' help. Maybe the federals, the whole national union. Around the same time the suit was filed Thursday, Finocchio met with reporters at City Hall to discuss the ongoing issues in the police department. Despite the lawsuit and complaint, Finocchio reiterated that he stands behind Ackley's policies and leadership. You have to be as bad as she is. She has violated the First and Fifth Amendment. Clearly, she entangled herself with the major gadfly of the city who does nothing but spends rumors, and this is our top guy saying he stands behind this stuff? He stands behind her? Man, this is a great soap opera. Nobody could write this stuff. Nobody would believe it. Whether the claims are legitimate or frivolous will be determined, he said. He himself is part of the problem and is probably a conspirator, and they need to check that. And again, probably the lawyers looked at this and like they looked at Mitchell, saw she hasn't got a pot to pee in. So who's going to go after her? You can forget it. Okay, lawyers need to make money. Okay, I'll bet you he hasn't got any either. It's probably in his significant others who's probably got the money, because I don't know what this guy's ever done. Finocchio would not speak directly about the lawsuit, but did say no one is above the law. Everyone has to follow the proper procedures. Yeah, and that means him too. Before Ackley, Finocchio said, before Ackley, this one gets me too. Finocchio said New London was behind the times. Nothing positive does this man say about our police department. He fired the only black guy in the that was coming through the fire department, or the new trainee. He did. He's got NAACP all stomping all over the place, and I hope they do their job like they're supposed to. You know, I mean, this guy's outrageous, and he's got to say that nothing was ever done right. I'm sorry. I think the police department was moving right along. I did find a lot of disagreements with him. I thought Captain Edwards was a great guy, did some good things. They developed stuff with the homeless and were moving forward police policies. The other chief of police was not a bad guy. He had personal problems. Everybody's got personal problems. Nothing like this. Nothing like threatening all the families of city workers and police people that have been there. This is outrageous. Finozio said Ackley is facing significant institutional resistance within the department to these policy changes, and that he is calling her in some backup. Oh yeah? Huh? The Fed's coming in to help her, or help you both? In the form of a new administrator, including a deputy chief, the hiring whom Finozio said he expects soon. He's going to spend more money and bring his friends in. Okay? I mean, that's what's going to happen, I would guess. The city has been without a deputy chief since early January, when Seeger's contract for that position was not renewed. What, I mean, there's another guy. You could negotiate with him. You could talk to him. Former captains Bill Dittman and Michael Lacey retired in January. Lost two great guys in those guys. Yeah, they've been there a long time. That's a lot. That's a lot of help that you're throwing out of this city. And you work with people for change. You don't just throw them out. I don't think. I think that shows bad leadership. Okay. They retired. Finozio said Thursday that a captain will be promoted by May 1st. I believe we are moving in the right direction, and when this restructuring is complete, the new policies are fully implemented, that the city of New London will have a police department that the city and the state will look to as a model of integrity and excellence. That's what he said. Finozio said. I think this man is smoking too much of that weed. Okay, that's what I think. I don't think he knows what he's talking about, and I believe it's a shame, okay, that these individuals in that kind of leadership position got involved with the gadfly, okay, and have got this massive situation going on. However, once it starts, once you start down this road of lawsuits, okay, and you put yourself in that environment, and that's what Ackley has done, and you have lawyers on both sides, okay, my belief is then you don't fool around. You don't go for the $15,000. You go for the kill. You take it to federal court. You take it on the constitutional issues that are there. Now, there'll be lawyers that'll be arguing with me and saying, oh, you got to listen to count. Yeah. Why? Why? Because I know federal court. As an ex-convict, imagine you got an ex-convict here defending the police department and the frontline officers in your city. Because I believe they're fairly good. I've lived in this city for 9 years. I've worked with the police department on serious, tough issues. The homeless, throwing out the homeless, stuff like that. I work with that department. I work with the leadership in that department. I worked with Captain Edwards before he left. I worked with Captain Dittman. Okay, these guys you were able to sit down and talk to. Now, whether they like me or not, that is irrelevant. What is more important than anything was you're able to sit down and discuss community policing with them. You know, they were not out to hurt our homeless. They were initially way back when, before I get